Here's your tale of the tape here. A height advantage for Kurbanov, but not by much. Two guys very similar where they're at in their career. Both moved down to bantam, and we'll see who can come out on top. Kurbanov in the black with the blue trim. Magomedov in the black with the red trim. 3 5-minute rounds here on Eagle FC 45. Cyrus Fees alongside the great Felicia Spencer leading you through this incredible fight card in Moscow.
Lots of finishes so far on this card. Let's see where this one goes.
No
These
doubt.
guys look rangy, and I'm guessing that they're both really good strikers.
Yeah, both big finishers, guys that like to end the fight. That's what the fans want to see. It's what you want to see at home. We hope to deliver it for you. Nice decisive victories here at Eagle FC. Don't blink, these guys. A lot of movement, very, very quick. Looking like bantamweights out there. To think that they were both featherweights at one point, but now have dropped down, and they both look very strong, very healthy, very quick in the opening outset of the fight.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the new weight cut affected them. And we'll see as the fight goes on. Sometimes that doesn't really show until the later rounds, maybe if the cardio is affected or anything. So only time will tell for that.
Ninja choke, guillotine choke, and knockout for Rashid Kurbanov now with his back up against the fence. We talked about those layoffs in between. You know, how does that factor in? You know, it certainly has worked out very, very well for him in the past. This is the first time that he's fought within a 6-month time period, you know. Kind of differs from the way that he's operated before. See if it makes a difference. Doesn't got that 3-year layoff to kind of chill at the house, you know. And get ready for the
Yeah,
next
you know, I feel like it'll be a good thing for him. You know, getting kind of into a rhythm. You know, training. I don't know what his training schedule would have been like if he didn't have a fight, but I know most people when they have that fight lined up, it's motivating. You want to go to the gym a lot more often, you know, and it's not always easy when you don't have something actually in the books to show up that often, twice a day, you know, 6 days a week.
Sure.
Great pressure here by Magomedov so far. Just keeping that cage control, using his underhooks.
You know, we've heard a lot throughout the night already, a lot of fighters coming out of Dagestan, and now the team is actually called Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov team. So it's not Eagles MMA anymore from what it was. It used to always be that, but now they've honored Abdulmanap, obviously Khabib's late father that we lost in 2020. Such a great guy. Had a chance to meet him a number of times, but it's just really revered all throughout Russia and all throughout the world now, of course, with Khabib's ascendancy. Everybody's seen how talented of a coach he was, and it really is proven by the amount of talent that comes out of that region now.
Yeah, I mean, all you hear are positive things about the man. So
exactly,
you know, and you can see the respect just oozing out of everyone that's ever met him.
Oh yeah, exactly. And every fight I was ever at that he was there, I mean, the guy was just so internally respected. It's not just because of Khabib; it's because he has produced so many great fighters, and now the legacy lives on with that gym, the Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov team. And now coming around the back is Magomedov, putting the pressure here on Kurbanov. Both guys are finishers. Don't expect them to want to take this thing to the decision. Little breakfast beatdown for all of our folks here that are watching in the States. Love waking up early and getting right into the fights, Felicia, you know?
Kurbanov, it seems like he's really liking that lead hook to a straight right. See if it lands clean at any of those attempts there.
Seconds ticking away here in round number one of this 3-round fight. in the bantamweight division. Will even go as low as flyweight this evening and here in a few fights. This is where we will end the round. More than likely, that's where you're at right now. But if you're not, if you're just watching some random stream, listen, get over and get the FlexCast app now. Watch it that way. It's a lot cleaner. And everybody has said that they love the app. They love how easy it is and how well it works. And it allows you to watch throwdowns like this as Magomedov continues to put the pressure on Rashid Kurbanov in this bantamweight matchup.
Magomedov right back to this position that he seemed like he was having a lot of success with in the first round. I'd like to see him use it to get more movement or get it to the ground, or even land some strikes. You know, I always come back to it. I love seeing elbows off of this cage control.
Inside strikes trying to slow down Kurbanov. Sharapudin Magomedov. What a prospect.
That was such a quick transition, too. He put his hand on the back of Magomedov's head and just kind of stepped out to the side, and it looked effortless. Back to the center where he's been having more success.
Just so you know, on the last fight, it has been reviewed. I'm checking out social media. It was a Darce. It was not an Anaconda.
It was a Darce.
It was a Darce.
Right.
You were right.
I don't have my vocabulary mixed up. Oh, my
big right hand. And just like that, Kurbanov has shut him down. Referee, it looked like he was going to step in there for a moment.
It was the strike to the back of the head. He was landing straight on the back, and the ref was just telling him not to land there, I believe.
Okay. But the damage has been done, though, Felicia. I mean, Magomedov is in trouble. Kurbanov landed big shots, measuring him, and lands a big knee. But Magomedov grabs him, gets him to the ground, and he may have just saved himself there.
You just said it. Yeah, he was in trouble, and what composure to be able to get hit multiple times in what would stop most fighters, and then be able to still come in for a takedown and get to the back. He's been in this position a couple times where he's let Kurbanov get get his right arm snuck back between them. So if he can keep the back control, I think it would be more advantageous.
Ragdolling him around here, Sharapudin Magomedov, and somehow, some way, has definitely got his wits about him again. Not in trouble anymore, and now trying to exploit Kurbanov. Big knees to the legs, to the chest by Sharapudin. Knees to the body. Magomedov is once again controlled. Put himself in control.
I feel like he tripped a little or lost his footing there for a sec. Wonder if that's still just residual from kind of getting rocked earlier.
Steps right through with a right hand. Magomedov still very aggressive.
What a great job coming right back in and then staying heavy on the top. It's great that Magomedov is staying heavy toward the shoulders because he's making Kurbanov lean on his hands, lean heavy. It's hard to stand up that way.
Knees to the thigh. Magomedov, and that's one of those shots that doesn't necessarily look like it's a problem, but over a period of time, Felicia, those can really add up, and they kind of kill your mobility and wear you out. And that's something Magomedov, it's kind of a veteran move, but he's just beaten up on the thighs of Kurbanov.
Right, it's not going to really matter like in this round or when they're wrestling on, or grappling. But when they come out for the next round, you're right. It's gonna be something that hinders the mobility for the stand up, which every fight, every round starts standing up. I mean, and it's bothering Kurbanov enough that he's trying to block them on the ground there, trying to use his hand to block those knees instead of trying to work his way out. So that was another tough round to score because, Magomedov seemed like he was having more success, but Kurbanov landed the most devastating shot of the night, of the fight so far. So that's a tough one.
It is your third and final round. And you said it exactly right. They just don't leave it in the hands of the judges, right? I mean, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to see if these fighters are able to put together a finish.
Again. I said in the second round, I think he hurt his toes when he did the front kick, and that was a really big tell of a hurt foot when he kicked Magomedov. Which is unfortunate for Kurbanov because I think the kicks were some of his most successful strikes. So to have hesitation with throwing those kicks could be pretty detrimental.
And not to mention you can't really plant that foot as well and throw the big punch as well, right? I mean, it kind of takes away from your punches as well, having any sort of damage to the foot. So it could kind of really have an impact on all of his striking here. And now we are just 1 minute in, and Sharapudin Magomedov is on top and in control. So funny that something as small as just hurting yourself a little bit on a kick could change the whole outlook of the fight. And Magomedov has really fought his way back into control of the fight.
Right, and it's a kick that he probably throws hundreds of times a week, thousands of times in a camp, and then, of course, on the one night that he's working for is when it lands just a little bit off, and then it hurt, and then it maybe broke or got hurt.
Yeah. Back to the thighs we go. Magomedov going to drop him back down again, but he is unrelenting. You see a lot of fighters when they're working on that clinch, working on a takedown, they just kind of focus on that. But Magomedov, very, very smart to continue to strike, continue to pick away at his opponent.
Earlier, Kurbanov was having success with kind of swinging his right arm around to loop around Magomedov's head, and he hasn't really tried it recently. I'm not sure if it's because he hasn't been thinking about it, or Magomedov's position is just a little bit better than it was earlier in the fight. But sitting here taking this punishment is not a good idea.
Now, it looks like Kurbanov's kind of looking up into the referee, and I don't know what he's looking for. I don't know if he wants some sort of separation, but he's not going to get it from that spot.
Yeah, Magomedov was doing enough. If you're just stalling and not striking, it's one thing. But when you're landing strikes that are significant, it's probably not going to get stood up. Some refs would, though, so, you know, shoot your shot.
Sure. Is there something that kind of leaps off the page on something he can do at this point to kind of get out of this? Is it just powering your way out, trying to get some sort of wrist control?
He's already almost in a better position, just trying to turn, trying to spin. Like I was saying earlier, that right arm, if he could try to, explode it back, kind of just windmill his arm back and try to loop around the head. He was getting, having success doing that earlier and getting Magomedov off of his back. So here at least he's in a better position. There's the risk of the ninja choke that he's famous for, right? So, yeah, Magomedov's got to be careful where he's putting his head in this third round because Kurbanov is still dangerous in some of those positions. This position is a little tough. Now Kurbanov's arm is actually trapped, and I don't know if it's because he's been trying to block those knees or if Magomedov is just adjusting a position. It's really going to come down to exploding. I try to walk forward. As simple as it sounds, sometimes just exploding forward, just like walking forward is just such a direction change so that you can get out.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's simple. Or you can pull a Derek Lewis and just get up. Just get up.
Just get up. Just get up. He always makes things very simple. Well, it just seems like Sharapudin Magomedov has just been one step ahead this entire fight, right? It just seems like he's had most of the answers. There's been a few moments where Kurbanov has showed us differently, but this has been Sharapudin's fight for the most part. He was able to avoid like a very disastrous finish there, and ever since then, he's been in the driver's seat.